I'm delighted to be joined by Watty Graham's Glen footballer Connor Carville ahead of the AIB GAA All-Ireland Football Senior Football Championship Final, which takes place this Sunday, January 22nd at Croke Park, 3:30. The AIB GAA All-Ireland Club Championship features some of #the toughest players from communities all across Ireland. It's these very communities that the players represent that make the AIB GAA All-Ireland Club Championships unique. Now in its 32nd year supporting the GAA Club Championships, AIB is extremely proud to once again celebrate the communities that play such a role in sustaining our national games. Connor, as the captain, have you considered the idea that if Glen win on this weekend, that you might go down the Paddy Clifford route of speeches?
To be honest, no, I haven't. I've just been. You don't really think about anything that goes on after the match. You're just sort of thinking about what's going to happen during the match and trying to prepare as best as possible for that. I've heard a couple of people mention Paddy Clifford's speech, but I was watching Derry in the McKenna Cup on Sunday, so I'm cheering them on. So I didn't actually see it. So, but
okay. Very much a tongue-in-cheek comment, Connor. Don't worry. I'm not all that serious about it. But what's the excitement been like around the club in the local area recently heading into this?
It's been bubbling away there nicely the last while in Mahara. There's a serious buzz about. It's a nice journey we're on. The kids are all buzzing, and it's great. But I suppose as a player, you can't really get too involved in that. Your mindset has to be different from everybody else in the stands, and you just have to prepare as best you can that you go out on Sunday and perform.
Yeah, and can you talk to me about the season? Of course, you've won the title already, as in a Derry title, and you had that run in Ulster, came up short a little bit against Kilcoo, but just going again, what's it been like this season?
This season, I suppose it's been good to date. We're just focusing on every game as it comes and trying to test ourselves against the best teams in Ireland, and we're enjoying it. I suppose we would have learned a lot from losing to Kilcoo last year, and thankfully we were able to get over the line in the Ulster final this year. And everybody's enjoying the journey and just taking each game as it comes, and we're all looking forward to Sunday.
And what do you think you kind of learned last season that helped you get over the line against Kilcoo and obviously Mike Cullen again this season?
I suppose there's a great saying: either you win or you learn, and whenever you lose, you can just find wee nuggets that you could do differently. I don't know if there's anything particular that I could pick out, but Malachy and Ryan have had another year, I suppose, with us as well, and that's developed us. And it's been going well so far.
Because I suppose over the years there's all this talk of all the Ulster finals that the minor team got to back in 01 and 14 and all that kind of stuff. Did it ever become a bit of a millstone around the neck, all this talk of the underage success, and were you ever going to deliver?
Listen, our big focus was to win a first county title. We never even considered any further than that. We couldn't whenever we hadn't won one before. And I'd say there's probably a bit of pressure that we hadn't won a county title, and a few of us were getting on in age. And it was nice to win that first county championship last year, and probably did relieve a bit of pressure,
And then when you won it again this year, was it like, what was the satisfaction like? And did you kind of have this conversation that this isn't where it ends?
Yeah, the key word there was we were very satisfied to be able to back up last year. But when you set out at the start of the year, you don't set out saying we're going to win Ulster, we're going to go and play in an All-Ireland final, and we're going to win an All-Ireland. You set out and say that you want to retain your Derry title, and with the Derry Club Championship being as competitive as it is, you'd be foolish to think any further beyond that. And then when we did retain the Derry Championship, you just say, look, let's take each game as it comes and see what our potential is here, and can we realise our full potential.
And between playing the All-Ireland Club semi-final at Croke Park, and then of course some of the lads would have played for Derry getting to Croke Park last year, does that take away some of the concerns about playing the occasion rather than playing the match? Because obviously Kilmacud have played here an awful lot, especially with Leinster games being played there.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue for us. We would have a lot of lads who have played in Croke Park before, either with County or some lads that played there with St Pat's Mahara and a couple of Hogan finals as well. So yeah, we have that experience there, and it was good to get a bit of recent experience against Mulholland in Croke Park. And now we're not concerned with that at all. It's just another pitch and another game, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
What was it, just to rewind back to the Ulster final again this year, what was it like, that feeling knowing you'd won it and even seeing the smoke flares go off and the colours around the pitch?
Yeah, it was great. We thoroughly enjoyed the victory and the celebrations, but then it was time after that. After a couple of days, it was time to refocus again and go again and back into the bubble, and it was nice to get back into training as well.
What's been the key to you kicking on and winning those Derry titles and obviously getting to this stage?
I think it's been a number of things. It seems like all the jigsaw pieces have came together at the right time for us. A lot of our lads have gained an awful lot of experience and have learned how to win over the years and became good at winning. And then on top of that, you had Connor coming back from Australia, which was massive. You had a couple of younger lads coming through into the team, like Ethan and Conleth and Ewan. And they spurred things on as well. And we just got the right mix together. And then the icing on the cake, or the thing that brought it all together, was getting Malachy and Ryan in.
And like, in terms of Malachy, what has he brought? Like, is it like almost inter-county quality standard of setup?
Yeah, it would be. We're very well prepared for each game, and Ryan's a great trainer. I'd say a lot of the lads would be in the shape of their lives. We feel very fit, and then like Malachy just looks after everything for us, and it's a really great setup. He brings a calmness along the line and instills great belief into us, and yeah, that's been key.
And of course, last season your run ended against Kilcoo, and so it was the same for Kilmacud. Now, I'm sure you've seen them lots over the last couple of years. They're going to be very burned from what happened last year, so their motivation is huge coming into this as well. So what are you expecting?
Yeah, that's it. They have experience at this level. They're a massive club. They're a famous club in Ireland, whereas we probably wouldn't be as much. And they have that hurt there from last year. Now they've added Shane Walsh as well, who's a serious talent, and they've experience all over the pitch, like Rory O'Carroll and Diaz in the middle, and like they've just talent everywhere. And we're going in as underdogs, and we're under no illusions as the battle that faces us on Sunday. But we're just going to prepare as well we can and try and perform on Sunday.
Yeah, the two semi-finals, it was funny. Both yourselves and Crokes seemed to have the opposition at arm's length, and both teams only barely fell over the line as well, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, looking back in the game, I would say we played well in parts, and there was other times where we wouldn't have been so happy with how we played. But it was the same for Kilmacud. It was just about getting to the final, and yeah, we hopefully can take learnings from the last day and improve.
What would it mean to the club and the people of the area to go all the way and win this?
Good question. I probably haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Just as a player, just focusing on playing football and trying to perform and prepare as best you can. I think everybody's really enjoying the journey we're on, and it's nice that the supporters are able to enjoy that. And yeah, there's a great buzz about the town, and roll on Sunday.
And was it, I just off the top of my head, there was something about maybe a speech that you did where, is it your grandfather has been involved in the club committee for like 70 years? Can you just give the background of that, how old he is now and when he started out with the club?
Yeah, so my granddad, Mickey McKeefrey, He's 86 now, and I think his first year in the membership of the committee was when he was 14. So, and he would have been club chairman for a good number of years as well. And he's like a lot of men around Mahara. They just live, breathe, eat, sleep football. The club means everything to them, and they had so many years of not winning anything. It's really special for men like that, and I know they're really enjoying it. Although Granda probably wouldn't say much to me at times. He would be very much a man of that generation where he would try to keep feet in the ground, and but yeah, you can tell that it means the world to him, and it's nice.
So we're talking about him being on the committee since early 50s or maybe even the late 40s.
Yeah, that's it. I would say club committees were fairly different around that time. So yeah, he's plenty of stories to tell, and people have been sort of egging him on to write a book and about the club history and that sort of stuff. But there's loads of other men there as well. A man, Jerry McEldowney, would have been chairman for 25 years, and I was able to call in with him after the Ulster final and bring him the cups, and it was a really nice moment, and probably one where you get outside of the bubble of the team and you realise what it does mean to men like that. Whereas most of the time you're just focused on winning the battle in front of your face as a player and getting your diet right, and the next training session or the next gym session or the next match, you're stuck in that bubble. Whereas that was a special moment where you just realised that this was sort of bigger than that.
And just you mentioned been watching Derry in the McKenna Cup the other day, going to a penalty shootout, which But how far do you think Derry can go after winning the Ulster title last year, getting to an All-Ireland semi-final? Do you think that the trend can continue to go up?
I hope so. It was great watching them last year. Thoroughly enjoyed the Ulster final and the celebrations on the pitch after the Ulster final when Derry won, and probably haven't had a chance to really support Derry over the past number of years, and there was a massive buzz about everybody coming together to support the county team, and really just hoping they can keep going now next year with Rory.
And just finish off with a quick Q&A, just not particularly serious questions, so you can answer them quickly if you like. What do you remember of your first time ever being at Croke Park?
I would have went to a lot of All-Ireland finals with my granda. He would have took me down. Probably went to about 10 All-Ireland finals in a row, and I always remember him saying, when you come up the steps and you see Croke Park the first time on All-Ireland final, just take a couple of seconds and look at it because it's very special, and I always remember that. And it's nice to be able to look back on, and it would be class to see Derry playing an All-Ireland final at some stage.
Who's your favourite player of all time?
Enda Gormley.
Right. Who's been your toughest opponent and why?
Some of the lads in our own training, like Danny Talon or Conleth or Alex, marking them's tough, and it leaves you in a good place when you go out to play matches then.
What's the team you most like to beat?
The next one.
I'm going to guess it's something like Schlockneil or something.
It wouldn't be too far away.
What's your proudest day playing GAA?
Winning our first county championship was a very special day.
Who's been the biggest influence in your career?
My family. As I mentioned there, my granda would have been a big influence, and family and friends, I would say. A lot of our friends that play together now would have grown up beating lumps at each other in the backyard, and there's probably developed a real competitive streak in us, but a real tight-knit group as well. So I would say those two.
Your favourite stadium to play in?
OurGame Park.
Okay. Biggest disappointment of your career?
Losing the county final in 2019.
The one to Maherafeld?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the biggest, who's the joker on the panel?
Spike thinks he is. He's the worst dad jokes you'd ever hear. Shocking.
Yeah, and can you remember any of them?
No, they're that bad. It's like awkward silence after it. Everybody just sort of puts their head down, and he's laughing away with his shoulders going. They're terrible jokes.
Who's the best dressed and the worst dressed?
Worst dressed, Doogie. He just wears basketball jerseys all the time. He thinks he's in ballet. And best dressed, I like JD's style. He's very, he sort of thinks like he's an American rapper or something.
Right. Okay. Who's the best trainer?
Emma Bradley.
Okay. What player from another sport do you admire?
I suppose at the minute I'm admiring what Odegaard's doing at Arsenal.
He's flying it. And then last question: what manager from another sport do you admire?
Arteta.
Yeah, he's going well. Okay, well, look, thanks very much, Connor, and best of luck in the final.
Yeah, thanks.